welcome back. Let's begin new chapter in geography, chapter 3, drainage. Let us see what are the objectives of this chapter. Basically in this chapter we are going to understand various types of river system. Along with that we will see the role of river system in human society. Following topics we are going to cover in this chapter, that is major river system and their tributaries. Basically Indian river system is divided into two parts, Peninsular River and Himalayan River. Thereafter we will see the role of rivers in the Indian economy. How does river system used to help us in various ways. At last we will cover the topic pollution of rivers. How does human activity causes the pollution and created the damage in the river resources. So children, let's cover the first topic of the chapter, drainage system in India. Before that, let us know what is the meaning of drainage. Drainage means river system of any area is called as the drainage. So as we all know, India has so many rivers that used to flow from different places and different regions. So that's why river system in India is basically divided into two parts. One is the Himalayan rivers that comes from the glaciers of the Himalaya, and second is the peninsular rivers that is originated from the Deccan plateaus and the peninsular region. So now here in Himalayan region, in this chapter we are going to cover basically three rivers. In this river in the north and then towards the east Brahmaputra, and northern plain we will see the Ganga river. Their features and what type of land and length of the rivers, all these we will cover in this chapter. Next, towards the peninsular river, basically these are the seasonal rivers, and water comes during the time of shower, or we can say rain. So these are the, we can say, seasonal rivers. Tapi, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri we will see in this chapter. Brief description, what are the places from where these rivers used to originate and what is the length of the river, and all these features we will cover in this peninsular region. Himalayan region, children, also is called as the perennial river. It means the water in the river remains throughout the year, and some of the rivers are only the seasonal river. Children, let us see the drainage system in India. The drainage system of India are mainly controlled by the broad relief features of the subcontinent. Accordingly, the Indian rivers are divided into two major groups. One is Himalayan river, another is Peninsular river. So children, very important question that rises from this topic is the difference between Himalayan rivers and Peninsular river. Children, in front of you is the beautiful scene of Kaveri Basin. It rises in the Brahmagiri range of the Western Ghat. Another clipping in front of you is of Gangotri Glacier, which is in Uttarakhand. This glacier is assumed as the origin of Ganga river. Now children, let us see subtopics under drainage system of India. So drainage system, as I told you, it is the river system. We are discussing here in this chapter about the rivers of India, how they are being classified. Basically they are classified into two parts. One, we saw the Himalayan rivers which originate from the Himalayan range, and another we discussed about the peninsular river which rise from the peninsular area. Now let us distinguish between these two rivers with some features. So if we talk about Himalayan river, the basic feature is that the rivers, they remain all the time full with water. That is why it is called as the perennial river. It means Himalayan rivers are also called as perennial river. Means water remains throughout the year in river. Now next point we can cover, from where does these river get water. So these Himalayan river, they get water from either glaciers. Himalayan rivers get water from glacier and rain. Now children, next point we can mention about the length and the depth. So Himalayan rivers have, we can say, they are lengthier or long. So they are deep and long. Also they travel long journey to reach ocean. Further, we can mention the examples of Himalayan river. Here in example, as I told you, Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra also you can mention. One or two examples are enough. Himalayan river have long course of journey divided into three distinct features. First one is the upper course or the mountain course, where the river originates, and here the velocity of water is faster due to the steep gradients. The floor of valley is narrow and the shape of valley is V in shape. The second one is the middle valley course, where the flow of water is wider and the side of valley remains sloping here. The velocity is slower than the upper stage. The meanders are the typical landforms here which is created during this course. And the third part of the river is the lower course, which is very gentle in slope and almost flat in shape. The river channel is widest and the deepest here, and the water amount remains more in number. Here, the Oxbow Lake, apart from the delta, are being framed in this region or the journey.
Now, we will discuss about what are meanders and how are they formed. Meanders are formed in the middle course of a river. The rivers flow through almost a flat plain in the middle courses. As water flowing under gravity seldom flows straight for any long distance, a winding course soon develops. The irregularities of the ground force the river to swing in great S-shaped curves, forming horseshoe-like loops called meanders. Now let us see how a meander forms. The water in a river channel flows faster round the outside bend of a river due to centrifugal force, whereas it is relatively slow on the inside bends. The fast flowing water on the outside bend erodes the river bank, whereas slow moving water deposits sand and mud on the inside bend.
Now let us talk about the peninsular river. So starting from the name, as we have seen, Himalayan river have this perennial river. It is also called as the perennial river. In the same way, these peninsular rivers are called as seasonal river. Why these are seasonal river? Because river water depends upon only rain. So here along with that we can write the source of water from where this peninsula used to get is rain. So second point also can be covered. Now the third point, these rivers are shallow and they are shorter in length. Also they travel less distance to reach ocean. Further we can mention the examples. So peninsular example, lot many rivers are there. You can write Tapi, Krishna and Kaveri, so on. So in this way we have seen the subtopic under main heading drainage system of India, that is Himalayan and peninsular. Children, let's have comparison between Himalayan and peninsular rivers. Himalayan rivers originates from the glaciers, whereas the peninsular river they originate from the plateaus. The catchment area of Himalayan region is very large, whereas the catchment area of peninsular river is very small. Himalayan rivers have very high erosion activities, whereas peninsular river carries very low erosion activities. Himalayan river water can be used for the irrigation in agriculture purpose. purpose, whereas peninsular river water cannot be used for irrigation. The example of Himalayan rivers are Indus and Ganga, whereas the example of peninsular rivers are Tapi and Narmada. So children, that's all in this video. Remaining topic we are going to cover in the next videos. So in that video we will discuss about the amazing facts of Himalayan rivers, and in Himalayan rivers we will cover only 3 basic Himalayan rivers, that is Indus River, Brahmaputra River and Ganga River. Children, before going to end up, let's do some questionnaire. The river system of an area is referred as delta, drainage, water flow or riverbed. Now second question is, Indian river can be divided into how many groups? 2, 3, 4 or 5. Last question is, which of the following is the largest drainage basin of the world? Ganga Basin, Brahmaputra Basin, Nile Basin or Amazon Basin? Answer all these questions in comment section. Thank you for watching.